G'day guys, I'm D-Mac from NBA Fantasy Bible here on the Believe in Fantasy Basketball Network. Today we're going to take you through the top waiver wire ads to get your week 6 started. Let's go and win some leagues. Before we get into it guys, make sure you go and like and subscribe to the channel. All right, let's get straight into it. Noah Clowney is our poster boy for this week for the waiver wire ads. But let's take you through, firstly, the week 6 schedule. So 24th to the 30th of November, pretty even schedule. 10 teams have 4 games, 18 teams have the 3 games, and only the 2 teams in Orlando Magic and Washington Wizards have the 2 games this week. So keep that in mind when you are looking to stream. But we're going to take you through more of the ads. Some are longer term plays and must add guys, probably already rostered, but we're going to take you through those guys anyway, just in case they are available, and some other guys that we think will have short term value. All right, starting with the Yahoo most added players. It's the top 10 from Yahoo for November the 24th. That is today. We are filming on Monday. Number 1, Jordan Goodwin. Now, he's had a fantastic last couple of games, but keep in mind that in the last game, there was no Grayson Allen and there was no Ryan Dunn. So keep that in mind as well. I don't think they're out long term. Of course, Jalen Green is out longer term, but I feel like Ryan Dunn will return in the next game and Grayson Allen may also do the same. But I think Jordan Goodwin, if we hear that those two will be kept on the sidelines, Jordan Goodwin is a decent point guard because we know that he can provide fantastic fantasy stats. Taking you through Jordan Goodwin's last couple of games. Like I said, in the game against Minnesota, he actually came on as a bench guy. Devin Booker fouled out. So the bench guys had to step up. And did they step up? That was quite the upset victory. They came out of nowhere to take that victory, 114, 113. In the previous game, which was yesterday against the Spurs, he played 33 minutes, another victory for the Suns, and they're just going great guns at the moment. Somewhat surprising, but 15 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. We know that he can produce fantasy numbers. We've seen it in his previous roles for his previous teams. He just hasn't had that opportunity, consistent opportunity, but while those guys are injured, he does put up the numbers. But like I said, I expect that Ryan Dunn and Grayson Allen to return very shortly. I'll mention Grayson Allen later on in the show as well. So buyer beware. But if those guys remain sidelined, I think Jordan Goodwin is worthy of an ad in a 12-team situation. Getting back to the top 10, Jamal Sheed. Now, this one's more of a reaction to RJ Barrett going down. Jamal Sheed has been putting up some really nice assist numbers. Not a great deal else, but Jamal Sheed could get that bump if RJ Barrett does remain sidelined for an extended period of time. There's other guys on that Toronto Raptors team that also may pick up the slack. So if you do need some assists, I think Jamal Sheed is a nice option if RJ Barrett does miss some time. We don't know the prognosis at this stage. Hopefully it's not too bad for RJ, but Jamal Sheed could benefit in his absence. Number 3 is Jay Huff. He's been putting up some fantastic block numbers, but he's more of a streamer for today. So he's not a longer term ad. We just don't trust that center rotation situation. There's Jay Huff, there's Isaiah Jackson, even Tony Bradley's getting some center minutes as well. So Jay Huff, decent streamer, but not a long-term ad. A long-term ad is the number 4 guy, Tobias Harris. He's put up some good numbers as well. He should be rostered in a 12-team league. Now, a lot of people have been asking me about Tobias Harris. In a category league situation, yes, I'll be adding Tobias Harris. In a points league, less of a priority ad, but I still think he will have some value. Number 5 is Jared McCain. He played a little bit more. The minutes restrictions have somewhat been lifted. However, VJ Edgecombe left the last game, so Jared McCain had to step up. There was no Joel Embiid. Adam Boner was also missing as well. So a few absences for Jared McCain to step up. But again, similar to Jay Huff, I don't think he's a long-term ad. So Jared McCain can stay on the waiver wires in 12-teamers, in my opinion, unless we hear that VJ misses more time. And hopefully Jared McCain does get some more minutes. But right now, he's not a priority ad, more of a streamer type guy for me. Number 6 is a priority ad, Noah Clowney. He's just put up some fantastic numbers, and we'll quickly go through some of his numbers looking at Noah Clowney. So he's starting now, putting up some nice numbers. As I said, played 37 minutes in the last game. Went down to the Raptors, but 7 of 15 from the field, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, 22 points, 1 rebound. So he's not really getting it done on the boards, but it's the defensive stats that have come back. So 2 steals and 2 blocks. We saw what he did a couple of seasons ago during silly season. He was putting up some insane block numbers. Then last season, where we thought he could have a bit of a breakout season, I thought that anyway, he really put that away and he became just a volume shooter and not a very good one at that. So he definitely wasn't worthy of an ad last season, but it's looking like he's turned things around. The shots are going down and the defensive numbers have come back up as well. So Noah Clowney, good numbers, good minutes. So he's a priority ad for me. Also, the Nets, we don't know what they're going to do longer term. He may actually benefit in the silly season when guys like Michael Porter Jr., perhaps some of the other guys, Cam Thomas is still sidelined, but I still think Noah Clowney can take advantage right now, but even longer term as well towards the latter part of the season. Next on the list at number 7 is a must-roster guy, Derek Queen. Spoke about him previously, and you've seen my tweets for probably the last week and a half, probably 2 weeks as well. Derek Queen, he is a must-roster guy. We'll go through some of his numbers as well, but if he happens to be available in your league, you go and jump on that because he shouldn't be left on waiver wires. He needs to be rostered in 12 teamers and probably in 10 teamers as well, to be honest. He's putting up some insane numbers. Mini Jokic, it's really fantastic to see. Obviously, a high draft pick, number 13 in the draft this season. Fantastic rookie numbers as well. But Derek Queen has just been a revelation for the New Orleans Pelicans. Not a great deal to celebrate for the Pelicans so far, but Derek Queen has been a bit of a home run at this stage for those that have picked him up as well. Just looking at Derek Queen's numbers, yeah, sort of Jokic light numbers as well, but putting up some insane numbers at the moment for a rookie particularly, but playing great minutes. He's starting now. He's actually starting alongside of Zion when Zion has played as well. So he's shown that he's been able to have value when most of their guys are back. There's still a few guys sidelined, of course. Jordan Poole's still sidelined. DeJounte Murray is also sidelined, but Derek Queen is the best big man on that roster. And we mentioned it in the preseason. We didn't think that he would take the reins so quickly. Yves Missi is not a priority anymore. He's coming off the bench. Kevon Looney is also not a priority. Derek Queen's facilitating the offense and actually getting some fantastic defensive numbers as well. But just look at some of those numbers. If you are watching on YouTube, it's video game-like numbers as well. It's the points, it's the rebounds, it's the assists as well. That 11 assist game was something extraordinary, but also getting the steals and the blocks. Yep, a lot of people have been apprehensive because of the high turnovers, but as you guys know, when I draft and when I pick guys up, I disregard turnovers. He's just putting up fantastic numbers. Don't be put off by those turnovers because everything else is great. The shooting efficiency has been okay, a little bit hit and miss from the field, but he'll get better. He's still a rookie, and even from the free throw line, 8 of 8 in the last game. Some great shooting numbers from him. So make sure he is rostered. Number 8 on the Yahoo most added players for the day, Keegan Murray. He needs to be rostered in 12 teamers and probably even 10 teamers as well. A lot of shenanigans going on with the Kings, but something that we know is Keegan Murray is their future. They've even come out and said that he's not going to be part of any potential trade in the future. So his role is safe, and I think he'll put up some great fantasy numbers moving forward. Number 9 is Bobby Portis. He'll put up some good numbers while Giannis remains out, and I expect Giannis to still miss a few games, perhaps this week, week 6. So Bobby Portis has some value in week 6. And finally, Vince Williams Jr. Yeah, he's a really fantastic ad, particularly while Ja Morant is out. We already know of the lack of depth in the backcourt. Obviously, Scottie Pippen Jr., Ty Jerome's going to miss another 6 to 9 weeks, which is very disappointing. But that extends Vince Williams Jr.'s value. Ja Morant's probably going to miss another week as well. So make the most of Vince Williams in week 6. All right, guys, before we get back into the ads, here's a quick word from our sponsor.
Before we jump back into the show, I want to give a big shout out to Fantasy RoundUp, one of the most elite resources and tools for fantasy managers who are trying to dominate this season and for years to come. You know how it is. You got your waiver wire priority, but you don't want to burn it on a player that might hit and might miss. So what you do is you set your alarm clock for like 3 o'clock in the morning, and you wake up before your league mates to grab that player without having to burn your waiver priority. What if I told you there was a way to do that in an automated workflow so you can actually sleep through the night? Let's jump into Fantasy Roundup and I'll show you how it works. So here we are on Fantasy Roundup. I have it connected to my ESPN account. You can also connect it to your Yahoo. As you can see here, my team is totally stacked. I got Wemby, I got Amin Thompson. This is an 8-team league, so I got tons of great players. But let's say there's somebody on the waiver wire that I actually want to grab. I click Auto Waiver here. Once I click Auto Waiver, you'll see my roster, and I decide which players I would like to drop from my team. I have 2 Duns, guys who are done. I got Ryan Dunn, finished, and Chris Dunn, finished. And then you just click on the bottom here where it says Select Players to Add. So here we are in the waiver wire free agent pool. There are a couple of players that I've been looking at, and I want to make sure I can secure them without burning my waiver priority. The first one is Matas Buzeles, who is available. And then we have Kevin Porter Jr. All I have to do now is schedule the swap. As you can see here, I have the swap scheduled for November 9th at 3 a.m. Now I just click Review and Confirm. I give it one last check, and after that, I click Confirm Swap. So no more waking up at 3 a.m. to go sneak and grab players off the waiver wire. You can let the system do it for you. And the great news, Fantasy Roundup is offering a 7-day free trial. So you can try this out yourself. If you decide that you want to keep it long-term, it's only $6 a month. You'll find more info in the pinned comment and the description below. Or just visit fsroundup.com. Check it out and start your free trial today. Your future self and your fantasy record will thank you. Now let's get back to the show.
Now, quickly looking at the ESPN top 10 trending players. Derek Queen, we spoke about. Colin Gillespie, similar to what we were saying about Jordan Goodwin, but Colin Gillespie is playing some fantastic basketball in the absence of Jalen Green and also in the absence of Grayson Allen. So keep rolling with Colin Gillespie. But like I said, I expect that Grayson Allen will return very shortly. So Colin Gillespie, probably still more a back-end 12-teamer, more like a 14 or 16-teamer once Grayson Allen does return. But he can still be rolled out there. Tobias Harris, I mentioned, must roster in 12s. Kel'el Ware, interestingly that he's still a trending player. So people are still adding him. He is highly rostered, but nowhere near 100% in ESPN and Yahoo leagues. But Kel'el Ware is putting up some nice numbers, even alongside of Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo's come back the last couple of games, and Kel'el Ware's still putting up some big numbers. Having said that, Andrew Wiggins has been sidelined, and guess what? Tyler Hero will return, is likely to return today. So super exciting for the Miami Heat. Not so exciting for Kel'el Ware and his usage and longevity as a viable 12-teamer. I still think you have to hold at this stage. And if you can, sell high. I don't think you're going to fool too many fantasy managers, but perhaps you use your negotiation skills and say, hey, he's putting up these numbers alongside of Bam. How about you go and buy him? But yeah, interesting that he's still a trending player. Number 5, Zach Edey, must roster guy in 12s. I've stashed him in a few leagues. I had to wait 5 weeks to get some production out of him. He came back, and he came back with a vengeance. He's looked terrific. We know about that Memphis Grizzlies team. Terrible at the moment. Terrible. It can only get better, right? Jaren Jackson Jr. is sidelined. Ja Morant is sidelined, and the plethora of injuries as well that I already mentioned. Zach Edey is making the most of it. He's putting up some good defensive numbers. The rebounds are exemplary, and the shooting as well, very efficient. I'd love to see him put up more shots, but the shooting efficiency is fantastic. So Zach Edey, must roster guy. Mentioned Keegan Murray, needs to be rostered. Noah Clowney is one of my guys. Not very highly rostered at the moment, but like I said, with the Yahoo top ads, he needs to be rostered. So Noah Clowney in ESPN is another trending guy. Con Kneppel, still trending up on ESPN, but he needs to be rostered. He's probably rostered everywhere, but for whatever reason, he is not. Make sure he is rostered. Number 9, Jordan Goodwin. I spoke about him, so he's got some value while some of the guys remain sidelined. But again, I don't think that's a long-term ad. And number 10, Reed Shepherd, must roster in category leagues in 12-teamers. Has turned things around beautifully in recent weeks. So that's great to see because I was very high on him coming into the season. It looked like a bit of a miss come the first few weeks of the season, but yeah, he's just shown his pedigree. He's been fantastic in recent times. So make sure Reed Shepherd is also rostered. Now, getting into some other ads as well. Haven't mentioned it in the ESPN and the Yahoo trending guys, but Grayson Allen, I mentioned him. He is a hold, or if he's available, he's an ad. Because I think like I said, he does return very shortly, and he was putting up some fantastic top 50 numbers in fantasy. So Grayson Allen will have that extended period of value because of Jalen Green's absence. Royce O'Neal, also, he's not a priority hold, but he's doing a good job. He's been fine. He's been decent. He'll come on and off of rosters. But while Jalen Green is sidelined, I think Royce O'Neal can still be rostered as well. Peyton Watson has to be rostered. There's injuries galore, particularly on the wing. So Aaron Gordon is going to miss some time. We already know about Christian Brown as well. So Peyton Watson and his teammate in Cam Johnson, man, he was disappointing, wasn't he, to start the season? And finally, it's taken a couple of injuries for him to find his groove once again. So Cam Johnson, just look at the last couple of games. So shooting the ball a lot better, which is great to see. But like I said, it had to take some injuries for him to get there as well. So I think he'll get better. He's 76% rostered, so it is difficult to find him on waivers. But I know that a lot of fantasy GMs were frustrated with him and were asking me constantly, do I drop him? Do I hold? I wanted to tentatively hold. I did drop in one of my leagues and I held in another. So it could be situational. But if he is available, go and add him. And if you did drop, go and re-add him if possible. But putting up some much improved numbers over the last few games because of the injuries to the Denver Nuggets. Getting back to it, Jalen Tyson is still starting. Darius Garland has returned. Obviously, Donovan Mitchell is having an outstanding season, but Jalen Tyson, I think, should still be rostered as well because he's still putting up some big minutes alongside of the backcourt of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. So I like Tyson as well. He's an exciting prospect. So I think he should be rostered as well. Andre Drummond, just because we know of the issues with Joel Embiid and the longevity throughout the season. So Drummond is putting up fantastic numbers. So just hold him. We don't know what Embiid's going to be doing this week, but Drummond is putting up great rebounding numbers and he's fantastic. So keep rolling Andre Drummond if you weren't too sure. Ace Bailey, when he's not in foul trouble, he's putting up some really nice numbers. I'd love to see him probably get a little bit more usage on that Utah Jazz team, but when he is playing, he's shooting the ball fairly well as well. Just looking at his numbers, the last few games, at 21 minutes is disappointing. He does get into a bit of foul trouble. In that 10-minute game against the Chicago Bulls, he actually fouled out. So fouled out 6 fouls in 10 minutes is quite remarkable. Not what you want when you're holding him in your leagues. But when he does stay on the court, he's putting up some decent numbers, and I think there's room for him to improve. Obviously, he's a rookie, but also just the Utah Jazz. They're doing a lot better than I originally thought they would be at this stage of the season, but I still expect them to go for that lottery pick. I still expect them to tank come end of season. So I think Ace Bailey, if you wanted to stash him now, it's a really nice stash because he's still putting up some good value, some decent value, which I think is worthy of a 12, maybe a 14, but I think he's okay to hold on to in 12s. And then we see what happens later in the season as well. I think there could be even more in store from the rookie as well. Next one, Moussa Diabate. Now, I've put him on the list. He's been a tentative hold in 12 teamers anyway, putting up some good numbers, but Ryan Kalkbrenner did go down with a bit of an injury. We don't know the extent of that injury at this stage, so Moussa Diabate gets a bump in value while Kalkbrenner does recover. Hopefully he doesn't miss too much time, but Diabate, he's probably already rostered, but he is highly available in a lot of leagues. But in competitive leagues, he is rostered just because he does put up some good value in limited minutes. He's been sharing those minutes with Ryan Kalkbrenner. Today, he shared those minutes with Mason Plumlee as well. So ideally, you don't be playing Mason Plumlee. If Kalkbrenner does miss some time, I think Moussa Diabate is a must roster. He's probably a hold anyway, even in splitting those minutes with Kalkbrenner. Jeremiah Fears is still putting up some nice, decent 12-team value. We know that the Pelicans still need to bring back DeJounte Murray longer term. Obviously, Jordan Poole needs to come back as well, but the minutes are still there for Jeremiah Fears. He's been inconsistent with some of his shooting, but I still think he's worthy of a hold in 12-teamers. Keldon Johnson, yeah, there's a plethora of injuries on the Spurs, and Keldon Johnson and also Harrison Barnes putting up some good value. They're probably more streams at this stage, but Keldon Johnson probably the slight edge over Harrison Barnes. So probably more that streaming type of player, but still worthy of a hold if you do have them. And finally, I've just got Jaden Ivey there with an asterisk, just because I don't think he's worthy of a 12-team ad in category leagues, but in points, he's worth a shot. Obviously, he has just come back from injury. I think they're going to start him, play him some big minutes. There's going to be a bit of a ramp-up period. So if you can stash, if you've got the ability to stash him, I think he's worthy of a stash in points leagues. The asterisk is because I don't think he's worthy of it in a category league, in a 12-teamer anyway. Deeper leagues, yeah, absolutely. Go and grab him, see what happens, because I think he's still got some upside there. Jaden Ivey, go and grab him in a points league. Buyer beware in a category league. All right, guys, that's a wrap. That's the top waiver wire ads for week 6. Let me know what you think. Hopefully there's plenty for everybody. Go and get some value. Let's go and win some leagues. Thanks very much, guys. Until next time, see ya.